Idris, he is feeling what the masses are feeling, and he's using his craft to call out those responsible for this misgovernance that we're having in this country. If you watch that music very well, you look at in fact he mentioned all the key issues happening in this country, from removal of subsidy, of which President Tinubu announced as soon as he he ascended the zenith, the leadership of this country. You know, as soon as he just said subsidy removed, that is where the problem of Nigeria started from. And I believe Idris did a lot of you know a lot of scrutinization, a lot of voice out in that video, and I must acknowledge him for that. Now, apart from subsidy removal, I think Idris was able to point out especially the inflationary rate, how people can't even afford the cost of living again because of gross hyper inflation that is presently happening in the country. Families can't even afford hospital bills anymore, rentage, food, especially the commonest, which is food. Food is now the hardest thing for the average Nigerian to even afford presently. I think Idris, you know, was able to also highlight the crash of the naira what value at this point in time. We can't be smiling and be happy that naira is being exchanged for 1,500, even going to 1,500 plus at this point in time. No, that it is very, very reprehensible, very, very lugubrious, and highly egregious. And we live in a country whereby our purchasing power has nothing to write home about anymore. It's quite unfortunate. And in fact, Idris was able also to pinpoint, the you know the fact that Idris was also able to question the marginalization of the Igbos for years now. Because if you agree with me, the Igbos have not been given chances to express their interest in Nigerian governance, and I think that is what federal character is all about. That is what unity as one country is all about. Because you cannot be maintaining inclusiveness with other tribes of Nigeria while excluding another tribe. That is gross marginalization, and I don't think any country grows in that aspect. And I give Idris kudos in that aspect, irrespective of whether he comes from the Igbo ethnicity or not. No, he is speaking the fact. Of course, what is happening in this country is audible to the deaf and visible to the blind. It is what every one of us can what see. And another point again in that video that Idris was able to highlight and criticize very well was the issue of religion. And if you have been following my video in the past, if you check everything about that video is what I have been saying in all my videos. I'll be saying it, poor governance and religious and inclinations. I've told you that the problem of Nigeria today is what politics and religion. I've been saying it. The political elites and the religious elite. They are working hand in hand to cripple the masses. And when they cripple the masses become hungry. And when you become hungry, you have no other choice to what be subjected under their what jackboot. So whatever they dictate for you, you follow because you got no choice, because in the first place you are hungry. In the second place you are poor. So a hungry and poor person, what can you do? What can you do? You can't do anything other than what waiting for how you will what get fed. Now, I think Idris was able to highlight it using RCCG Pastor Adeboye as a case study, because we all can you can agree with me that during Goodluck Jonathan's era, these people gave Goodluck Jonathan a nightmare. They never allowed this man to have a good sound sleep. You saw how they were all protesting, because it is quite unfortunate at this point in time when the citizens want to protest, they start lampooning and threatening you with treason, or you are going against their government. But unfortunately, it is not. These people are well, accustomed and acclimatized with the Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. Everyone is tantamount to protest against bad government, and of course, that was the liberty they used during Goodluck Jonathan's regime. These people came out in mass. They protested. They were all protesting about the government, about the bad governance, in quote, of Goodluck Jonathan's regime. But invariably, these people are hypocrites. They were hypocrites because they were not just protesting about governance, because the bad governance they were talking about was when Nigerians were even living the better life, unlike what we have now. But rather, they were protesting just to bring their own candidate into power. And of course, ROCCG Pastor Diboye was one of the leading protesters of this protest then in his church with a large congregation all over the world. They were all jeering in for APC governors. Some people like Jide Kosoko, Nigerian actresses, and the rest, they were all present. They were all present. People like Wolo Soyinka that claim that he is well read, he's well versed, that understand politics and all. People that people are even looking up to. They were the ones that come out to to protest during this era. But what suddenly went wrong now that all of them suddenly remain mute? Have decided, what can the poor masses do? Of course, the poor masses have choices, but believe me, we live in an anachronistic, a dictatorial, and a gerontocratic system of governance whereby those leading us have back in terms of government knowledgeability. So what can you do? They have all the ammunitions, they have all the forces. So when you come out to say you want to agitate for your rights, they will finish you. And that is the kind of dictatorship that is happening in Nigeria. So Idris Abdulkarim was able to pinpoint all these things out in his video. So Adiboye now, where is he? Where is he? He was the one leading protests then. So what suddenly went wrong now? What suddenly went wrong? Do you understand me? During Buhari's tenure, I think Idris was able to also pinpoint out that during Buhari's tenure, you see a lot of mismanagement of borrowing trillions upon trillions, and we are still asking now, and where are who are as in what are the means those trillions are being paid? Those borrowings now, who are paying it? The poor masses, the poor masses. And if you check, I love that video. Everything Idris have been saying and what I've been saying so far in all my videos, and I thank him for coming out to pontificate and expatiate what is happening in Nigeria. So we live in a country whereby religion has crippled the masses. Religion is working hand in hand with politics. And